New limited edition troops in that of the Barb Kicker, M.E.C.H.A, Ice Wizard, Broom Witch, and Battle Ram have been added to Clash of Clans, so let's break all of these down and explain how to use them, starting with the Barbarian Kicker. This has a special ability, Free Kick, where it targets the closest building, dealing 3,260 damage. This fires from an 11-tile range. There is a slight animation whilst the free kick is being prepared, where the troop can take damage from the Mortar, Expo, Monolith, Multi-Gear Tower, and even the Town Hall. Any other defenses, it outranges. However, after this free kick has been taken, the troop turns into a bigger barbarian. It operates exactly the same, however, being 12 housing space, it has a lot more hit points and deals some extra DPS. Even though that is the case, the main reason you're using this troop is for the free kick ability, and its best use case is for sniping defenses, particularly around the perimeter of the base, so that you can set up a hero dive, or maybe you even use this alongside a warden walk to set up the fireball. You will use one or two of these depending on which defense you're trying to snipe. You can use a rage spell to make sure you only need one Barbarian Kicker to snipe any defense. The Town Hall would still require two alongside the rage spell, but obviously you can use a combination of things, whether it's lightning and earthquake to weaken a defense first, the giant arrow. You can even turn these troops invisible so that they are not susceptible to damage during the time where this free kick is being prepared. Or if you want to get clever, turn defenses themselves invisible so you can target defenses in the second row, since it does have an 11-tile range. But should you miscalculate, the kick would be wasted and just fire against a wall. I think these are such a fun troop. It's my favorite limited edition troop we've ever had, because you can snipe off defenses and it's pretty satisfying when you do that. Just know that during the initial free kick phase, the troop is defense targeting, so should there be defending clan castle troops or an enemy hero in that location, it would not fight back until it transforms to its barbarian phase. Moving along to the M.E.C.H.A troop, remember the level of these are all based on your Town Hall level, so you don't have to upgrade them, and like any limited edition troop, you can't donate them in your clan castle. The M.E.C.H.A troop, though, is kind of like a defense targeting P.E.K.K.A. It is only 10 housing space, so whilst the hit points and damage per second are lower than that of a P.E.K.K.A, should you multiply that by 2.5 to get the same housing space as a P.E.K.K.A, the hit points would be significantly increased. It also has significantly faster movement speed, and it's really beneficial that it does target defenses themselves, plus you get the special ability of increased damage to walls. At first, I was thinking, being a ground defense troop, this could be really cool to combine with the new Grand Warden's Heroic Torch. However, what I did find is that the M.E.C.H.A can get through the walls very quickly, but also due to their fast movement speed, they can end up getting ahead of the Grand Warden, so I don't think it is actually the most ideal combination. Obviously, it would still work, but I don't think I would trade out one of the other Warden abilities. Whilst the Barbarian Kicker is more of a support style troop setting up an attack, the M.E.C.H.A would be the main bulk of your army. Whether you wanted to use that similar to the Root Riders after a Royal Champion dive, or whether you wanted to use them after a Fireball, setting up pathing for these troops, essentially you would be pushing them through the base just like any other ground smash attack, and limited edition troops do tend to be slightly stronger than others. They are a little bit trickier to use since they move fast. You have to be quicker with your spell management. You might even need a couple of wizards to clear up the non-defensive buildings behind. I'd certainly give them a try if you like those ground smash attacks, but likewise in the current meta, you could just stick to your regular army. Hopefully these just give you a little bit variety. Moving to the Broom Witch, though, these are a little bit more unique, I would say, in mechanics. We don't really have another troop like this. They target wizard towers specifically. Being an air troop, to give you an idea of its strength, you could compare this to a dragon, since they're both 20 housing space. It does have a little bit less hit points. DPS is around about the same, but it is twice the movement speed, and it spawns 24 witch spirits, and that is the main benefit of this troop. These have enough hit points typically to survive and get to a defense. They only deal 56 damage, however this is multiplied by 4 versus defenses, which is what they target. This means each witch spirit can deal 224 damage, and since you have 24 of them, that is 5,376 damage to a defense. In combination with the DPS of a Broom Witch, most likely enough to wipe out any defense other than the Town Hall hall with a singular Broom Witch. It's important to note that these will fly across the entire map to try and get to a wizard tower if there is still one standing. You can actually use this to your advantage because as they're taking damage, the witch spirits are spawning. You're dealing damage to the defenses en route. They will all spawn if the Broom Witch goes down, but the main benefit of this is you can activate spell towers very easily with this troop. Obviously, wizard towers towards the perimeter of the base, you should be able to easily snipe with just one Broom Witch. However, once all of the wizard towers have been destroyed, the Broom Witches would target defenses themselves. So it does mean you can really utilize the witch spirits 4 times damage onto those defenses. Since you do require all wizard towers to be destroyed, it's a little bit trickier to use them to set up a hero dive like we did with the Barbarian Kickers. There might be a base where you need to funnel a wizard tower, and obviously this is perfect for it, but I think their main use case is setting off spell towers or as a mass Broom Witch attack, sniping off wizard towers at the far side of the base, spamming the rest in alongside a battle blimp, cloning up those balloons or yetis. That will give you some nice 3 stars. Next up, we have the Ice Wizard. This again is more of a support style troop. It's very similar to the regular wizard, but it targets defenses instead. It has less damage per second, but greater hit points. Both for housing space though, so it really depends on what you're using the wizard for as to which one you should choose. As I mentioned with the mecha troop, if you're using the wizards to take out non-defensive buildings, then clearly you wouldn't want to use the Ice Wizard. You'd go with the regular wizard, and you'd also use those if you're trying to set up the funnel, which includes non-defensive buildings. Clearly the regular wizard is needed, and they're faster in that process as well. Where the Ice Wizard can come in though, is if you're trying to subtly create defensive pathing on the outside of the base. Maybe you can use a small tank in front, a giant or an ice golem, and a couple of these to take out some defenses. They can end up getting in front of the tank, so they are better on the perimeter. Maybe you can use them alongside the Barbarian King. If you're diving into a section of the base, just can help to push the king through that area a little bit quicker. Generally speaking though, they're just an alternative for the wizard. If the goal of the wizard is cleanup or non-defensive buildings, just go with the regular wizard. The final limited edition troop for this batch, which is from the 11th of August up until the 20th, then it will rotate again, but it is the Battle Ram. Whilst this is again a supportive troop, so you won't take too many of these, it's actually really good. This is because it is only 4 housing space and essentially is a cheaper super wall breaker. It deals 40 times damage to walls, has a faster movement speed, and has more hit points and deals more damage. On top of that, after it breaks the wall, you then get 4 regular barbarians anyway. There are a couple of things to be cautious of. Firstly, the battle ram has to get to the wall and connect, whereas the super wall breaker can actually take out the wall en route to it. The battle ram also only opens up one wall, whereas the super wall breaker actually breaks open multiple. That could be a big deal if you're trying to enter the base from the corner, let's say, where it's a lot trickier to actually dive your troops into that area of the base. Having a greater wall opening tends to help. But other than that, in most situations, especially if you know you're going to be able to actually get to the wall, just use this rather than a super wall breaker. Remember from this month's season calendar, which I broke down for you at the start of the month, there is many more things to come, including the Hero Rush clan event, so be sure to subscribe in order to see that sneak peek video. In the meantime though, YouTube has a recommended video of mine on your screen that they think you will like. Enjoy the rest of your day.